Welcome back to the Weights and Glory podcast. I'm Walter.
I'm Ethan. Let's get into it.
So we're going to be talking about social media's effects on faith, self-image, just how you use it, all the things. So we're going to start with the faith side. Ethan, what you got starting us off?
Yeah, I think that there's two sides to social media. There's the good and the bad, and it can be a very good tool for anything as long as it's used in the right way and as long as it's consumed in the right way. So for the faith side of it, I think that it can be really good for encouragement and for spiritual growth, for discipleship, anything like that. It can be really good for, as long as you're not using it as your only source of knowledge of Christianity, of the Bible, any aspect of our faith. As long as you're not using it for your only source, I think that it can definitely benefit you, like we've talked about before, having a devotional, having this, doing a Bible study, whatever it may be, listening to somebody give a devotional or a Bible study or just talk about faith on a podcast like this or any kind of video, I think can be great as long as that person is grounded in biblical truths.
It's kind of what we've talked about before, supplementation.
Yeah.
Where it supplements what you already have, your foundation of reading the Bible, praying. So I've been listening to Bryce Crawford's podcast, and he just started a new series going through the book of Luke. So go one chapter at a time.
Yeah, because you'll end up on Christmas whenever, like if you start reading, it'll be Christ
like
being born.
So he's just doing one chapter a day, reads it, kind of breaks it down, because he's got good knowledge. I know that he's grounded in biblical truth. But that shouldn't be the only thing. That shouldn't be where I get my main source. I should be reading it on my own. And then he encourages that too. Like when you're listening, he says, if you have your Bible, open it. We kind of go along together. That's like a devotion. I listen to it on the way to work, so can't do that. But
yeah, it definitely, and that's what, if you go to a church where it's a truth preaching pastor that is truly following the Lord's will, he's always, any true good pastor that is following God's will always tell you, fact check what I'm telling you. Do your own research in where there can be no flaws in the Bible. Man messes up all the time. We can mess up. I could get in the pulpit and preach, and I could say something wrong, not intentionally, but I could say something wrong, and that's why I always encourage people to do it. And it's the same thing when you're watching a podcast or whatever. Do your own research in the Bible, because the Bible's not going to mess it up. It's not going to get it wrong. It's always going to be the same. It's always going to be true. Nothing changes. The Bible does not change. So that's why it's really important to fact check whatever you're listening to, whatever you're watching.
So you kind of have to be cautious almost on social media with anything really, but in our case with faith and fitness. So you hear one thing someone says and it may be true, and then you kind of just from that point out your brain makes a switch, and now anything they say is fact, and I'm going to follow whatever they say blindly, whether it be a preacher, whether it be a fitness influencer who's trying to sell you something. They say something about fitness, and then you just believe everything, and you don't go back, do your own research, see if what they're actually saying is true, and now you're just down this rabbit hole of lies and believe in anything blindly. Yeah,
and I think we've all kind of done that before with and it, not even in this industry, not even in faith or fitness, whatever it may be. I think we see one clip of this person and we're like, oh man, I really like that. I really like this person. And then you don't do any of the research and you just start following them from there. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at it as a timeline and say they started doing whatever they're doing, their influence in here, you see something here and now you're just going to pick up right here and keep going. No. Once you hear this, go to the beginning. And then, do a deep dive, dude. And especially in the aspect of faith influencers. Wherever you first hear, whatever you heard that you really enjoyed from them, do a deep dive, go down the rabbit hole of going through everything that you see that you can of theirs and try to figure out, is this someone that I should be following? Is this someone, and a lot of people forget about what the word influencer means. Is this a good person that should be influencing my life?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer to that question is no, then don't listen to what they're doing. And I think we get caught up in too many times of just, honestly, someone, just all the hype is on this one person. It's like, oh, they must be doing good. They must be preaching the truth. That means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a lot of people following them, that means absolutely nothing. But definitely, I think like Bryce Crawford, Cliff, any of those guys, I think that they are truly grounded in biblical truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they're great faith influencers to watch and listen to and consume. But you have to, and like I said earlier, you have to do your own research. You have to fact check. You have to do the deep dives to figure out if this person is who they say they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're not, and they're just spewing all this crap, and it might make you feel good, because I think about Joel Osteen.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you listen to a sermon, man, you'll feel great.
Yeah. He's a good speaker.
Yes.
There's no denying that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what draws you to him.
He's a motivational speaker.
He's very engaging. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to grab your attention, motivate you, make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that he's preaching from
Yeah.
the Bible.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean what he's got to say is worth any amount, that it's actually got sustenance. So you need to be careful with what you consume on social media, because there's so much. And you also need to be careful with what you put out on social media. For one thing, anything you put out there is out there forever.
Yeah.
And as Christians, as believers, I think we need to be careful with that, because we don't want to cause someone else to stumble. We don't want someone to see us and think, oh, they have this podcast where they're talking about Christ, and they go to church and they claim this and that, but now they're out on social media. I see them post all this crap, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Like, and that causes them to stumble, and that's a sin. That's you sinning by causing them to stumble. Mm-hmm.
And that's something that always is in my brain is, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the person that causes someone else to stumble or causes someone else to turn away from Christianity because of one thing that I did.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many times, and we talk about it over and over again, but it's the truth. There's so many times that people leave the church, leave Christianity because of one person that ruined it for them.
Mm-hmm. And I think I struggle with that, with causing someone else to struggle or stumble, where it might be, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this because it's going to cause someone to stumble, even though what I'm doing isn't wrong, but it can be seen and taken some way and then cause someone else to stumble. So in my head, I'm thinking, what does it matter? Like, if they stumble, that's on them, because what I'm doing isn't bad. I don't have any ill intent behind it, whatever the case is. But regardless, it's going to cause them to stumble, so I shouldn't be doing it.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I think that's a great point to make, because we get caught up in, well, this isn't bad. It might not be. And what you're doing, you might not be sinning, but when you cause that person to stumble, that's when you start sinning.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter. We get so caught up in what we want to do, how we feel, making ourselves happy, and no matter the consequences, because we're selfish. But we have to realize that other people are watching. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing on social media. I mean, whatever we're doing and we're posting, people are watching. And it may be 2 views, but guess what? That's 2 people that looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 people that were affected by it. So no matter what it is, always do your own research and always make sure that the person that you're watching is who they say they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we can't see the heart, but the Bible tells us that you'll know them by the fruit that they bear. So that's the best way to do it. But more on a positive note is you can get great community, great connection from social media. And I think that you can learn a lot. And I've learned a lot just from listening to Bryce, listening to Cliff. And the biggest thing I've learned from them is to not be scared to go out and share your faith, not to be afraid of debates when it comes to our faith. And that should be something that we are striving to do and going head first at. But I think there's so many good things that can come from it, but there's also bad.
I think something you said just made me think of this, where so it's a good and a bad. Like on social media, you're behind a screen, so you don't see a person face to face, and a lot of people just say whatever they want to with no repercussions. And we obviously know that that's a bad thing. But on the flip side, I think a good part of that is someone who might be a little intimidated by something with faith in Christ. They can comment, ask a question to a Christian influencer or whoever that's in that community already, like one of their followers replies to them, and you get a conversation going. They can learn more. So it's that community where wherever it's at, because social media isn't a bad thing.
No.
And you can build and you can grow, and you're in that realm of like fellow believers.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And yeah, I mean, it's, I don't want to say it's like going to church, because it's not. But it is good because you're surrounding yourself with fellow believers in that sense. But then again, on the flip side of that, we have to make sure that we're not worrying about watching the perfect Christians. Because when we start doing that, and the main thing with any kind of social media is don't compare yourself. And we've talked about that, making comparisons in fitness and faith. Don't compare yourself, because the only thing that comparisons do is steal your joy. But there's so many perfect Christians on social media that make other Christians that their lives don't look like that, makes them feel like less, makes them feel like their walk is not as good with God. But I can tell you now, your walk is probably better than theirs, because they're doing it for a camera. And they're also doing it for likes and views and shares. So don't get too caught up in comparisons in any aspect on social media, because there's nothing good that comes from it. And we'll get into the fitness side later, but comparing yourself will only steal your joy.
Well, I think that's one of, if not the biggest con of social media, is comparison. Because you see someone, say I look at someone who's my age, married, 2 kids, house, like I think they just got it going on. And really that's not the case. That's just what they put out there. You can curate your life to look exactly how you want it to for everyone else, to paint this perfect picture, but that's not how it is.
Oh, it's easy it's easy to cut out all the bad parts in a video editor.
Exactly.
So,
and same with like fitness. You can edit, change the lighting, do all these things to look a certain way and make it seem like you got it going on, and that you're never going to achieve this, or your body should be the ideal physique to obtain. And you just lead all these people astray, and that kind of goes into like anxiety, depression, all these mental disorders that come about with social media. That's a whole nother conversation, but those things have been on the rise because of social media. There are so many detrimental things that have came with social media that I don't think we talk about as much as a society.
Oh yeah, 100%. But you never know what's going on behind closed doors, and I've learned that just from being a pastor's child. Because you look at your pastor and whatever, you think, oh man, he's preaching the gospel, he's living for the Lord, everything in his life must be great. And that's what everybody sees, but you don't see what's going on behind closed doors. And that's with everybody. So don't don't put too much into what somebody posts. Don't put too much, I don't want to say faith, but don't worry too much about what other people post. Because it's real easy to pose for a camera. You don't see the rest of their lives. And on the fitness side, we do the same thing. I mean, we have good lighting in here that we use to our advantage, and adds a couple pounds of a lean muscle. But that's the thing. That's what people do. We don't do nothing crazy like a lot of these people. But I don't know. Comparisons, man. That's just. Nothing good comes out of it. Just do your own thing and do what you know is right, and don't worry about what everybody else is posting.
I think people need to take more time off of social media.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. The average amount of time an American spends on social media is 2 to 2.5 hours a day. And that's just on social media. It was 4.5 to 5.5 just on your phone.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. If you get 8 hours of sleep and you work a job, and then you eat like all the other daily tasks you go throughout your day, that's the remainder of your time and some sprinkled in to your other things. And we're just constantly, it's constantly in our face all the time. And it wrecks you.
Yeah, and I'm very guilty of that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm very guilty of being on my phone a lot, and I try to do it less, and it's hard. I mean, that's just what we're used to consuming. But and with those numbers showing how much you're on your phone, how much you're on social media, but then you say, "Oh, I don't have time to read my Bible." Yeah. Statistically, you are wrong. Yeah. You are lying to yourself. You're lying to me. Yep.
I'm lying to myself. I'm guilty of that.
We all are.
Like, I'm speaking to myself here.
Because we wait till the last bit of the day to think about, oh man, I should have read my Bible.
Oh, now that I have 10 extra minutes, I'm done. I've been done doom scrolling. I got about 10, 15 minutes before I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can open it up. Now I can open up.
It's when you run out of everything else to do. Yep. And that's such a bad thing, man. It's so convicting.
Because that should be the first thing you do.
Yeah.
That's why I thought about doing my Bible time in the morning, which would be really hard, but I think it would be better. You start your day off right, because most people start their day off with their phones. They instantly open their phone, start to scroll.
Yeah.
And then that sets up your whole day for failure.
Yeah.
Whereas if you open the Word, you get a good message and you get something encouraging you read. It helps you get through your day. I've done that before, or even listen to just gospel music. It just uplifts you.
I've done
that.
You
just feel so good
on the way to work.
It sets your day up for success.
It does. And one way that I caught myself every morning, I would get up, I'd get on my phone, like TikTok or something. I was like, dude, that's ridiculous. And so probably 2 or 3 months ago, I was like, all right, since I'm going to get on my phone, what I'm going to start doing is reading a devotional every day in the morning. So that's what I've been doing. But the thing is, I would get caught up in being like, oh, I'm doing this devotional in the morning, I'm good for the day.
But that goes back to
reading a devotional is not reading your Bible. And I'm talking to myself here. And yes, there's scripture and there's verses in the devotional, and
it's not bad.
It's not bad, but it ain't the same. And the thing is, download a Bible app on your phone and read it throughout the day. Read it when you get downtime, whatever it may be. And I've really been trying to read a lot more lately, daily, and I've been doing a decent job. But it's always trying to find something else to take up that time. And it's not even us, it's our flesh saying, oh, no, get on this right now. You can read that later. And then when it gets later, oh, I'm tired, it's time to go to bed. When you could have read it earlier. And I think all of us can be convicted by that to some extent. But the main thing is, you'll never regret setting aside the time and reading your Bible. You're never going to regret it. It may not be as flashy and exciting as you think, but the spiritual benefits you get out of that are so beyond the nothingness you get out of social media.
And something for those listening or watching, delete a social media app. There are so many options: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Delete one of those, just one, and see how much time that frees up.
Yeah.
You already had the time, but just do that. You'll realize, oh, you go from one app to another, you're done doom scrolling because you don't have that last app you deleted. Go read the Bible then.
Yeah.
The Bible app that you just downloaded, or a real Bible, read it then, because you just freed up so much extra time by deleting. Because I deleted Instagram, I deleted Facebook for a while, and I felt like it was almost, I felt free, even without just using that extra time to pray or read the Bible or anything. It felt like it had a hold on me, and it was lifted off me. It felt really good. I feel like that's something everyone should at least try.
I think that's great. But so kind of switching gears, moving on to the fitness side of it. And I think almost everything we said goes along with it, but I just kind of want to touch on some of the main things that we think of when it comes to social media. And we did go check out the episode we did on comparisons, and I don't know the exact title, but you can find it a lot more in depth on this subject. But I want to kind of go over more of the general topics of it. But I mean, so what are some of the good things that come out of fitness and social media that you've seen?
Well, definitely learning things. And
Jeff
said
Nippard.
it before. Yes, my boy. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of misinformation out there. We're going to continue to say that.
Yeah.
But if you find the right source, you do the research, you have someone that's got backed by science or results or whatever the case is, however they go about it, you can learn a lot about fitness, because a lot of people don't want to get into the gym because they're scared. They don't know how to get started. And all that information is out there if you look for it, and then you can apply it to your own life.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of stuff you can learn. And I agree with, you don't want to get into you don't want to get into the gym or whatever because you feel like you don't know enough. Man, just watch some Jeff Nippard or watch some like Sam Sulik or somebody, and you'll learn a bunch. And like you said, backed by science or results. I mean, I don't think you have to pick science-based or pro lifting, whatever it may be, but make sure the same thing with what you're watching and taking in from the faith side. Do the same research that you would do on the fitness side, because you could get caught up in the side of just following somebody because you like them, and then you get to the point where you've seen no progress, or you just hurt yourself because you're doing dumb stuff. And when you could have done the research long ago and then known that this person is not who they say they are, that the results are not speaking for themselves. But I think there's a lot of good things, knowledge, but also the same thing with faith side is a community. I mean, you have a community of fitness influencers or just lifters, whatever it may be, that you can kind of relate to. So, and it definitely helps because not everybody has a gym bro.
Yeah.
And I think it definitely helps in those situations.
Yeah, you kind of find that community, that little niche, whether it be like a certain kind of, like a run club.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to join those. They enjoy running, but it's also that community of like-minded people that like to run.
Yeah.
Do the same thing. So same with lifting or whatever else you're into, you can just kind of fall into that niche, and you can use it as motivation. Look at other people's transformations and their progress and results. Now, that goes back. You have to be careful, though, because then the comparison starts to creep in. So you kind of had to find that balance of, oh, he looks good. Proud of him, his results looking awesome. And then, oh, I'm not there yet. What am I doing?
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with that.
I definitely think fitness social media has ruined people's expectations for a good physique.
The perception of it.
The perception, for sure. I think that we see all these guys that are nothing but pin cushions for any kind of steroid they can take, and we think, man, if I could just look like that.
Or you put them as the ideal physique.
Yeah, exactly.
And most of the time they lie, or they're not transparent with what they do. So that physique is completely unobtainable unless you're using PEDs.
Yeah, unless you're trying to get on all that stuff and then have all the bad, because then a lot of them, what they won't tell you about is all the bad side effects.
Oh, yeah.
They just tell you about how good they feel and all the muscle they're putting on, but again, you don't see behind closed doors. You don't see all the negatives, and they could be like, yeah, I mean, I haven't really had any bad side effects.
You don't see all the negatives because they're dead by 45.
Exactly.
And
I think that you really have to understand what a realistic physique and a realistic amount of time would be.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get so caught up in chasing this one physique or this one person, what they look like, and it's like you keep not hitting it by the time you want,
mm-hmm.
and you just get so fed up, you probably quit because it's messed up your perception so bad of realistic lifting and realistic bodybuilding or whatever you're into, that all it does is discourage you to the point where you don't want to do it anymore.
The person who enjoys the journey will walk farther than the person who wants to just get to the destination.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, that sounds good.
And because it's going to take time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think fitness and lifting and all encompassing is a lifelong endeavor.
It is.
You might have a goal that you want to get to by a certain point, but even when I'm 60, I'm still going to exercise. I want to be in good health.
Yeah.
That's something that you should just take with you for the rest of your life. And going back to the physiques and unobtainable gym influence, they are the 0.1%
mm-hmm.
of the population.
Yep.
But they're just, it's so loud because they do look good, but they're just pushed out there. But then you get the perception in your head that that's normal. That is the standard. So why am I not there? And it's not.
It's not at all.
Like how we talked about benching 225 is, that's the new standard. Hardly any, like the average man cannot do that.
Mm-hmm. Which is crazy.
Don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
With anything, really.
Yeah. And like you kind of mentioned it earlier, but 90% of the time, these influencers, all they're trying to do is sell stuff. All they're trying to do is make that money. Mm-hmm. They don't care about what they're putting out. They don't care about the products they're pushing. They don't care about how it affects people watching. They don't care about their followers. They care about the dollar bills going into their bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really start watching influencers closely on what they're doing, what they're promoting, you'll be able to point them out really quick.
Oh, yeah. You can pick up on it.
Really quick. It's not hard. But the thing is, you have to make an effort to do the research. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, you're either gonna buy a bunch of crap from them, or you're just gonna not make any gains. Mm-hmm. Because one, there's some that they'll be natties or say they're natural bodybuilders, and they're promoting all these natural things to take, and you're taking them, whatever. You're never gonna look like them because they're on PEDs.
Because that's not that because they don't take it themselves. Mm-hmm. They just, their name is just associated with
they're
it.
Getting paid to promote it.
Exactly.
But,
and I know we're dogging on influencers and social media. That's kind of been this whole thing. But
we're dogging on the bad ones.
On the bad ones. Because social media itself, fitness influence, Christian influencers, social media in and of itself is not inherently a bad thing.
It's a great tool.
But it has such easy footholds for the devil.
It does.
That you have to be wary of.
Yeah.
And to be careful and cautious when you see something or read something or post anything.
Yeah.
You have to be careful.
Yeah, and that ties into this verse. Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart above all else, for it is the source of life. So that sums it up all in 2 lines. It's so important to watch what we take in. And there's another verse that says, whatever you let in is going to come out. That's not word for word. Yeah. Again, do your own research. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, but basically like garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. And that is such a real thing. And a lot of people don't think, they're like, oh, I can do this. I can watch this. I can listen to this. And I'm good. Mm-hmm. No. Because I remember, like, back in like high school, all we did was listen to like rap music and terrible music and it's cussing and this and that and the other. Well, that's how you start to act. And you let it in long enough, that's what consumes your heart.
Because you don't see the immediate effects.
No, you don't.
It's not just, I listened to one rap song, now I'm out here in the streets.
Yeah, no.
It takes time. It has to fester within you.
Yeah.
And that's where people, and by the time it has, you don't realize it. You don't realize how far you've gotten. Yeah,
your heart becomes shaped by the content you let in, good or bad. It's all shaped by whatever you're consuming. So the bottom line is, make sure what you're letting in is beneficial to you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Make sure it's beneficial in all those ways, or don't consume it. Because there's no point, if you can't check off those boxes for whatever you're letting in, there is no benefit to you watching it or listening to it, whatever it may be. So make sure you're watching what you let in to your heart, because at some point it's going to come back out. But that's all I got.
That's all I got.
Stay ready. Lift heavy.
Yeah.